The sound of church bells was supposed to mark the happiest day of her life, but instead it echoed through the empty courtyard like a cruel reminder of rejection. Emily sat alone on the cold stone steps outside St. Mary's Chapel, her white wedding gown soaked in tears and shame. Guests had already left, whispers lingering in the air. She should have seen it coming. No wonder he ran. The man she thought she'd spend forever with had walked away just minutes before saying "I do," muttering that she was too much, too heavy, too emotional, too everything. But at that moment she felt like nothing at all. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of love that sees beyond appearances, please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Because what happens next is proof that miracles often come disguised as heartbreaks. Miles away, in a small countryside town, lived Jack, a hardworking single father doing his best to raise his 6-year-old son, Noah. Jack was a mechanic, his hands rough and calloused from years of fixing engines and juggling bills. His wife had passed away 3 years ago in a car accident, leaving behind a silence that echoed louder than any noise. Noah barely spoke anymore, except to ask about his mom when he saw other kids with theirs. Jack tried to fill that void with love, but it wasn't easy. The house always felt half empty, like a story missing its second chapter. That night, as the rain started to pour, Jack was driving home from work when he spotted a woman in a white gown sitting on the steps of a roadside chapel. Her makeup was smeared, her veil discarded beside her. Without thinking, he pulled over. She looked lost, broken, and cold. When he asked if she needed help, she looked up, her eyes red but still glimmering with something fragile, hope maybe. Her name was Emily. Jack offered her a ride to town, but when she admitted she had nowhere to go, he hesitated. Bringing a stranger home wasn't something he ever imagined doing, but something in her trembling hands and quiet dignity stopped him from driving away. He told her she could stay the night, just until she figured things out. That night, Emily slept on his couch, wrapped in one of his late wife's old quilts. She stared at the ceiling, whispering to herself that she was unwanted, unlovable. But in that little house, surrounded by the warmth of strangers, she felt a flicker of safety she hadn't felt in years. The next morning, Noah was the first to wake. When he saw Emily in her wedding dress, his eyes widened in wonder. "Are you a princess?" he asked softly. Emily smiled for the first time since the disaster, and in that instant, something inside both of them began to heal. Over the next few days, she helped around the house, cooking, cleaning, fixing little things no one else noticed. Jack watched her with quiet gratitude. She brought laughter back into their home, teaching Noah to bake cookies and helping him with homework. The boy who once stayed silent now giggled again. But in town, whispers began to spread. Jack took in that bride who got left at the altar. He's desperate. She's just using him. People love to judge what they don't understand. Jack ignored them, but Emily heard every word. She'd go to the local grocery store and feel the stares burn into her skin. One day she came home and told Jack she should leave. He looked at her with a sadness deeper than words and simply said, "You've already made this house a home. Please don't go." That night, Emily sat in the small living room watching Noah sleep. She realized that the little boy had already stolen her heart. She had lost a groom but found something far more precious, a family. Still, she couldn't shake off the fear that she wasn't enough. Not thin enough, not perfect enough. Until one morning, Noah ran to her, clutching a crayon drawing. It was a picture of the three of them holding hands under a bright yellow sun. He had written, "My family," in crooked letters at the top. Emily cried, holding him close. In that moment, every cruel word, every rejection, every wound from her past began to fade. Weeks turned into months. Emily found a job at the local bakery and quickly became everyone's favorite. Her warmth and laughter filled the shop, and people who once whispered now smiled when they saw her. Jack often stopped by after work, pretending he was there for the bread, but everyone knew he was there for her. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching Noah chase fireflies, Jack turned to her and said quietly, "You saved us." Emily laughed softly and shook her head. "No," she replied, "you saved me first." But fate wasn't done testing them. One stormy night, Noah fell severely ill with pneumonia. Jack panicked, rushing him to the hospital. Emily stayed by Noah's bedside for 2 sleepless nights, holding his tiny hand, whispering prayers through tears. When the doctors finally said he would recover, Jack broke down for the first time, hugging her tightly. "I don't know what I'd do without you," he whispered. And neither of them did, because by then it was impossible to imagine life apart. A few months later, on a quiet spring morning, Jack surprised her with something simple yet profound. He had rebuilt the broken wooden swing in their backyard, the one his late wife used to sit on, and carved 3 names on it: Jack, Emily, Noah. "It's our home now," he said. Tears streamed down her face as she realized what he meant. This wasn't a proposal of romance. It was a promise of forever, a bond forged not by blood or vows, but by love that refused to give up. Emily never imagined that being left at the altar could lead her to something so beautiful. She had been called too much. But in this small family, she was finally enough, more than enough. She became not just the woman Jack loved, but the mother Noah needed, and the heart that stitched their broken pieces together. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, because every click helps spread stories that remind us that love has no shape, no size, and no limits. Speech balloon special request. Comment "Love always finds a way" below if you believe everyone deserves a second chance at happiness.